And that's right, we're back. Studio 6A alongside Ryan Renner, Phil Becerra. It's Listen Up, presented by Dempseys Grille in Middletown, Maryland, and Sportsland, your complete team outfitter. That's what they say, isn't it, Ryan?
Yeah, that is what they say.
Welcome back. It's been a while, 1 week since we've been in here, and believe me, bud, I was thinking about you. How about them Cowboys?
Yeah,
how about
them Cowboys?
I tell you, that took me back in time to the game. It was the Atlanta Falcons and the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl a couple years back, and boy, the pressure's on Dan Quinn, head coach Dan Quinn and company in Atlanta right now. I tell you, it seems like a lot of coaches may be on the hot seat this offseason coming up in Atlanta.
Yeah, especially Dan Quinn. Like you said, I was expecting to get someone a notification on our phone, possibly about Dan Quinn getting fired from the Atlanta Falcons coaching staff. I mean,
how could he still have a job?
I just don't get it. I mean, I don't know how. I mean, they were leading 28-3 in the 2017 Super Bowl against the Patriots.
Yeah.
The Patriots scored 19 points in the fourth quarter to come back and tie the game. Then the Patriots go on to win in overtime. And the Cowboys game, they had a 99.9% chance to win. And going into the game, NFL teams were 440-0 after scoring 39 points with 0 turnovers.
Isn't that amazing? It's basically it's never happened before. What we saw now, is that a good recipe for winning ball games? I'm sure you'll say no, but I tell you, hats off to Dallas. And even though you mentioned a lot of injuries on that defense, Ryan, they still came up with some big plays to obviously a 1-point game, so they got the job done.
Yeah, I mean, if the Cowboys defense doesn't step up and if they allow a touchdown instead of a field goal, the Cowboys probably aren't going to come back and win that game. But you're right. I mean, the Cowboys fumbled 3 times in the first quarter. They were down 20-0. It definitely isn't the recipe you want for winning games.
No, that's what I said. I'm sure you'll agree with me that I don't think that you're going to win ball games every week like that.
Yeah, it's 440-0. It hasn't happened before the game on Sunday, so I don't think you. If you're the Cowboys, you want that to ever happen again.
But listen, we're going to give a preview towards the end of the show of the Monday night matchup, and we circled this matchup, and even you said that, Phil, you said this may be the game of the year. Only week 3, but this may be the game of the year, the Chiefs and the Ravens.
Yeah, the top 2 teams, at least in my opinion, and on the NFL power rankings, the top 2 teams in the league going at it Monday night.
That's right. The new power rankings just came out this morning with the Kansas City Chiefs and the Ravens in the top 2. Who came in at number 3?
Yeah, Seattle Seahawks coming at number 3.
Seahawks. And then your Cowboys are at 10.
No, they are actually...
Do you know where they were?
They're at 14.
Okay, so they're 14. All right, so they dropped a couple of spots. But, look, getting back to Atlanta, and I wanted to see what you had to say about this here. That Super Bowl, what was it, Super Bowl 50? It was a 51, Super 50. It wasn't 50.
Super Bowl 51.
51, okay. Dan Quinn, this just puts an exclamation mark on his career in a bad way. Head coach Dan Quinn had the Super Bowl wrapped up. He had this game wrapped up. So, again, I don't see him keeping his job too much longer in Atlanta if this continues. Ryan, it's devastating for Atlanta fans, for the players, the coaches, because I'm sure in their minds, standing on the sideline, that coaching staff had that Super Bowl in their mind, and that's what they were thinking about. I guarantee you when Dallas started to make that comeback on Sunday. But, Ryan, we understand that Super Bowl against the Patriots and the Falcons went into overtime. But a lot of people don't realize the real reason. Ryan, Atlanta was in field goal range. All they had to do was kick a field goal, and they would have won the Super Bowl. What's the coaching staff, Dan Quinn and company, they make a silly call. They tell Matt Ryan to drop back and pass, and what happens? He gets sacked out of field goal range. New England comes back in overtime, and the Patriots win.
Yeah, I just don't understand the play calls from Dan Quinn, head coach Dan Quinn. and the coaching staff. I mean, I just don't understand how you can blow a lead in the Super Bowl. I mean, previously, teams have never come back from a 10-point deficit in the Super Bowl, and you're talking about a 25-point deficit. The Falcons were up 21-3 at halftime. At one point, they were up 28-3, and they let the Patriots score 19 points in the fourth quarter. The Falcons don't score any points the rest of the game after the third, and I believe that was early in the third quarter. I just
no excuses for it. Huh?
It's no excuse. I really don't understand how Dan Quinn has a job.
No, I'll tell you, Greg Zuerlein on Sunday did something that the Atlanta Falcons should have done in that Super Bowl to wrap it up. And Zuerlein on Sunday, he kicked the 46-yard game-winning field goal as time expired, and I'm sure we talked about Connor in the other episode spilling his Cheetos. Ryan, I don't know what you were eating on Sunday, but whatever you were eating, you might have spilled that or a drink out of your hand or something. Greg Zuerlein, it was a 46-yarder.
Yeah, I was actually out with my friends. We were actually went out to eat and watch the game, but to be honest, we didn't stay and watch the game because
I'm sure you thought it was done.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure almost everybody that
all the Cowboys fans,
that was watching the game thought it was done, down 20-0 in the first quarter. But yeah, I just couldn't believe later in the day I looked at my phone and saw, wait a minute, the Cowboys won 40-39. I just couldn't believe it.
Well, like Milt says, never in doubt. And that's what he says, never in doubt. So, look, on a side note, I know today was supposed to be the interview for Holly Oslander Ismail. She had some personal matters come up, and she had to deal with that. So all of our prayers go out to her as she takes some time off from the interview, and we gave her some time. So the interview is actually rescheduled for September the 29th. So we want to reach out to her and tell her that, I did talk to her this morning, so she is safe. She's doing okay, but we want to reach out to her, and she is definitely in our thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, we keep her in our thoughts and prayers for sure, but also we have the interview with the pro boxer coming up, so also excited for that.
Excited. That's what I like to call double barrel action.
Yeah, two
next
back
week.
To back.
That's right, next week. So again, make sure you guys stay tuned. Holly Oslander Ismail and the professional boxer, Mr. Larry coming on next week. But for now, we're going to focus on the big topic here at hand today, Ryan, and that is Cam Newton. Cam Newton and the New England Patriots. Look, it surprises me that right now we're talking about Cam Newton is a better fit in New England than what Tom Brady was. Okay, and I told you this. Tom Brady seemed to really decline as his time came to an end in New England. Right now, it's looking like the mastermind, Bill Belichick, who got hired by the Patriots January 27th of 2000. It's looking like that he might be the real reason why that this franchise was the best and still is the best in football history. So, Ryan, what stood out to me Sunday night, and once again, the Seattle Seahawks win the game. What a matchup this has been.
Yeah, that was a great game. If you were able to watch that game, these two teams, the Seahawks and the Patriots, you can always expect a drama. They always
exactly.
They always have the best drama.
NFC and AFC teams. They're not even in the same conference. But Ryan, over the years now, since 2012, 13, 14. I tell you, when these two teams together, I told you they need to keep matching them up on prime time football until they can't play good football anymore, because it's a close game every time that they play together. I mean, look at the history, Ryan. You have the New England Patriots. It was Sunday night. Of course, they lost 35-30. They lost the matchup before that, the three previous matchups before Sunday night, it was November. So these two teams have not met previously before Sunday. It was 2016, and New England lost that 31-24. But Ryan, Seattle still has a problem with putting New England away.
Yeah, Seattle leads the series all time 10-9 now. And we saw in that Super Bowl that we talk about how the Seahawks should have ran it with Marshawn Lynch in beast mode.
Yeah.
But of course the Patriots coming up with a big interception and winning that game.
Right.
But the big question is, are the Patriots a better team with Cam Newton than they were with Tom Brady?
Look, I think they are. I really do. And what stood out to me, Ryan, and I think that for some reason Tom Brady had never fit this scheme in New England. Maybe you could tell me why, but the offensive line. How Cam Newton, did you see the last play of the game?
Yeah, the
Go
Seahawks
ahead.
stopped them at the 1 yard line.
But see, what I'm saying is the offensive line, Chris Collinsworth and Al Michaels, when I was watching that game on Sunday night, they pointed out the fact, did you see how the offensive line will move over, which direction Cam Newton will run?
No.
And the fullback will make a lane for Cam Newton to dart. I mean, it's hard. Try stopping a 250-pound fullback, and then you have a 200-some quarterback running at you. So good luck, but give credit to Seattle. They stopped that on the last play of the game. And it's, to me, that was a poor call by New England. Because you saw that coming. I mean, who didn't?
Yeah, I agree with that. You saw earlier in the game, they did the same thing to the other side, where Cam Newton was able to rush in for a touchdown. I agree with that. I don't like the play call. I think you do a play action call in that situation. I think the Seahawks were definitely ready for Cam Newton to try to rush in. I like the call in the fact that you're putting it in the hands of your playmaker and Cam Newton, the best player on your offense. But I still think until Cam Newton can really get a signature win with the Patriots or lead this team to the playoffs later in the season,
Yeah.
I still believe Tom Brady is a better player than Cam Newton is with the Patriots.
But right now, Ryan, but what my point is to you, and again, I don't want to take anything away from what you just said, but how about, could you see the score? Look at the way Cam Newton brought the Patriots back Sunday night. Okay? Do you think Tom Brady could have done that? I say no. No, damn right Tom Brady could never have done that. It's just the way that Tom Brady's starting to decline. Yes, he's playing some good football in Tampa Bay, but for some reason, Ryan, right now, I don't see the matchup there with head coach Bruce Arians. I don't think Tom Brady fits that scheme as well as Cam Newton fits that offense in New England.
Yeah, I think they did the Patriots have the best coaching staff, one of the best coaching staffs in the whole NFL. I mean, Bill Belichick is probably one of the best, if not the best, head coaches in the NFL. You saw it before. We just talked about the Atlanta Falcons game. Tom Brady was able to lead his team back in that game. I would agree probably now with Tom Brady getting older, I don't think he could have led the Patriots back into the game and able to get the win.
The age debate also comes into that. But I had to give a shout out to Al Michaels on NBC on Sunday night. He said, well, obviously Cam Newton, he looks like he's a quarterback ready for a pay raise. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, there's so many quarterbacks. I saw something over the weekend. There's so many quarterbacks. Most aren't even starting. Some are backups that are making more money than what Cam Newton is.
Well, we expected that. I mean, we saw this small contract and the details that went into it when the New England signed him. What was it, only 1 year?
Yeah, it was the least amount I think he could have gotten.
Yeah. So again, hey, I told you this, and I'll tell you now. The what stood out to me Sunday night was the way Cam Newton threw the ball down the field. I mean, talk about a connection. And again, the chemistry, Ryan. I think Tom Brady is not having that chemistry with the Buccaneers like Cam Newton is with the New England Patriots. Ryan, you have Julian Edelman, okay? You have the offensive lineman Jermaine Eleanor, who used to play with Baltimore. He came over to New England. You have the best corner in the league, Stephon Gilmore. Okay, so Ryan, N'Keal Harry in his second year at wide receiver. Look, Cam Newton is lined up with talent. And I just don't think Tom Brady has that same ability or that same talent around him in Tampa Bay. And it's showing right now.
Yeah, I don't agree with that, though, because Tom Brady has Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, tight end O.J. Howard. They signed Leonard Fournette. They have Ronald Jones, I believe, coming off the bench. So Tom Brady has enough weapons, and Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, a really good duo pair in the NFL for wide receivers. Tom Brady has more than enough weapons on offense to be able to lead that team to more wins. And, I mean, I just don't see how Tom Brady doesn't have enough weapons to be able to lead the Buccaneers to a winning record this season.
I see where you're coming from, but look at the perspective where I'm coming from, Ryan. Have you ever seen in his, how many years was Tom Brady with him? 16?
I believe 20.
Okay. However many years Tom Brady spent in New England, did you ever see the offense ran like it is now under Bill Belichick? I never saw Tom Brady run touchdowns in like that before.
Well, because he can. He's not that type of
Exactly,
quarterback.
he can. But so you're bringing up the debate of Bruce Arians versus Bill Belichick. Okay, which coach is better? I'm sure you agree it's Bill Belichick.
Bill Belichick, right?
Do you agree with
Yeah.
that? Okay. So it again, yes, it's the players on the field. It comes down to the end of the day how the players are playing. But Ryan, if you believe that coaching is a major factor as well, look, you got Cam Newton. If you're Cam Newton, you're playing under the best coach in the history of football, Bill Belichick.
Yeah, the best coach for sure. And another thing I want to point out, you see on the sideline, the offensive coordinator for the Patriots coming over to the bench and sitting beside Cam Newton, reviewing on the iPad that they look at, reviewing the play calling, all of that stuff that you have to do during the game. And you look over at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers sideline, what do you see? You don't see the offensive coordinator for the Buccaneers.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Coming over to Tom Brady and talking about the game, looking over stuff. So I think a big part of this is the New England Patriots have a better coaching staff, and Bill Belichick and his coaching staff have done a phenomenal job of bringing in Cam Newton, restructuring the offense
So
around
quickly.
Cam Newton.
Yeah.
So quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they waited a while to sign him.
Well, that's going back to real life situations, Ryan, where look, no matter sports or anything, you're never too good. Okay, so and that's a good point because you bring that up. Maybe they figure that Tom Brady has all the experience he needs and he can handle it by his no. That's what I don't give a damn if you're playing in the league 30 years and you have 10 Super Bowl titles. Look, you need that support. You need your peers around you, and that is the coaches. That's what we're talking about. And right now, it seems like the support's not there for Tom Brady.
Yeah, and maybe what it could be, too, as well, that Tom Brady doesn't have the same plays that he used to run in New England that he was used to running for 20 seasons.
20 seasons, yeah.
However many seasons he was there in New England. I think that we always used to hear rumors and talk about how Bill Belichick and Tom Brady didn't quite get along, how most head coaches and quarterbacks, how you would like to see them get along. However, they were able to get 6 Super Bowl wins, so I think they were able to fare pretty well. But maybe it's just Cam Newton is building a better relationship with Bill Belichick and that coaching staff than what Tom Brady was able to do.
Yeah, well, you're right. It was 20 years in New England. But Ryan, so in other words, I guarantee you right now, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, New England Patriots would play now. New England would win the ball game. New England would win that ball game. You feel the same way?
It would be a pretty good game. I'm sure a lot of people want to see that.
You have to take it in mind what I'm talking about. You had Bruce Arians versus, I'm not even going to say his name. The mastermind is what you call him. Bill Belichick. So, hey, take it for what it is. Say what you want. But I'm telling you, if they have a matchup, and I don't think they play this year during the regular season, do they?
I don't believe they do.
Okay, well, you have a matchup against the Buccaneers and the New England Patriots. You give me a phone call before that game. I'll break it down for you. I can't see where Tom Brady would be any better right now in New England. Cam Newton, of course, Patriots fans are never going to forget Tom Brady. He gave them 6 Super Bowl titles. How could you ever forget a player, the greatest of all time? You're not. So don't take that. Nothing taken away. We're talking about currently, right now. Cam Newton is, and I tell you, it's arguably, Ryan. You're getting a lot of buzz around Lamar Jackson. You obviously the reigning MVP from last year, but Ryan, you can even make the statement that Cam Newton might be the best quarterback in the game right now because of the way Jackson obviously moves around great, but Jackson still has some problems passing, although he's considerably improved this year, and you can tell he's starting to spread the field more. But Ryan, the arm on Cam Newton, I can't get over it. I mean, the receptions that Julian Edelman was pulling in, I mean, Cam just kept throwing bomb after bomb after bomb. And you sit back and you think to yourself, okay, Seattle just signed, who was it? The safety out of
Jamal Adams.
Jamal Adams. And what a gift he was to the Seahawks so far. And he was definitely worth him 2 first-round picks they had to give up to get him. But you just sat back and you wondered on Sunday Night Football, when will Seattle stop them? And, yeah, Seattle won the game, but you're lucky. You're lucky, Seahawks, that you won.
Yeah, it only came down to inches, and Cam Newton nearly had 400 passing yards in that game on Sunday night. I believe he told me earlier it was his 3rd most in his career all time. So, and we're talking about these quarterbacks, their head coaches, and the offense a lot, but I want to point to the defense a little bit. Tampa Bay Buccaneers have some pretty good linebackers in Levante David. They have Ndamukong Suh, pretty solid defensive line, pretty solid defense all the way around. And I believe when we were breaking down the Patriots division earlier in the show, I said that I was breaking down some of the opt-outs that New England had to deal with. Patrick Chung, Dante Hightower, I believe, and a couple other players that opted out on that defense.
Right.
I'm just amazed that the New England Patriots have done a pretty solid job on defense so far. Now they did let up 35 points to the Seahawks, but of course you're going up against Russell Wilson, so take that as you see it. But I'm just surprised and a little disappointed in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense so far. How they're not giving Tom Brady as many opportunities, maybe putting him in good field position, not putting Tom Brady in a good field position, making him drive all the way down the field and be able to score. So hats off to the New England Patriots defense, and maybe the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense has to do a better job of getting turnovers and being able to put the offense and Tom Brady in a position to score.
Yeah, look, Cam Newton, again, I talked about his arm. He had 397 passing yards in that game Sunday night. And, wow, if that number doesn't stand out to you, I don't know what will, Ryan. And that was 3rd most in his career. You know, it's just disappointing. You sit back and you look at, he was a former MVP. And the way our society lives, and I mean, we move on from people so quickly, and you know the belief in them just drops like a dime. But it's disappointing to see how the success that Cam had before even getting to New England And it's disappointing to see the people that did not believe in him, all of a sudden. But now, all of a sudden, oh my God! Now everything, everything is it. Cam Newton. He's looking better than Brady was when Brady ended his career in New England. So it's just disappointing, man, to see the coaches and in the NFL, a lot of people that lost a belief in Cam Newton.
Yeah, well, he had so many injuries.
That's true too.
In his career, I believe he got injured, I think, 3 years in a row. And the disappointing Super Bowl loss when he was the MVP of the league.
Well, the way he's playing now, you never would have believed he's injured, dude.
Yeah, you never could have guessed that he was injured that much.
No, so I tell you, well, again, congrats to the Dallas Cowboys, that big comeback. We have never seen that before in NFL history, I tell you. What a week 2 in the National Football League. Ryan, I want to point out, I just saw that Joe Burrow on Thursday Night Football, he was the first rookie in NFL history with 60-plus passing attempts. And guess what? A goose egg. 0 interceptions.
Yeah, 61 passing attempts. He was 37 for 61, 316 yards and 3 touchdowns. Unfortunately for the Bengals, they did lose the game by 5 points to the Browns. I think if the Bengals had a little bit better defense,
they could have edged them.
Yeah, I think they could have beat them. I mean,
Yep.
you look at the Browns running backs, and both of their running backs, Joe Mixon, 16 carries, or I'm sorry, that's the Bengals. Nick Chubb for the Browns, 22 carries, 124 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And Kareem Hunt for the Browns also did very good in that ball game. So the Bengals just weren't able to stop the running game, and that opened up the passing game for Mayfield, and the Bengals just weren't quite able to stop the Browns' offense enough for them to get the win.
Well, how about Kyler Murray? No, I told you. What did I tell you? I told you earlier in this series, or earlier when we broke down the divisions earlier this month, that Kyler Murray and the Cardinals might be the surprise team of the year, or the comeback team of the year, that is. And guess what, Ryan? They're 2-0 through 2 weeks. Murray, 158 rushing yards, 3 rushing touchdowns through the first 2 weeks. So not only he has the ability to show his arm off, now he's showing his legs off. And we already knew he was capable of that.
Yeah, you can see how big of a pickup that is. We talked about the trade, bringing DeAndre Hopkins to the Cardinals. He had 8 receptions, 68 yards, and a touchdown in that game versus Washington that the Cardinals won. You can just see what a big add to that offense was, and how much he's helping Kyler Murray pass the ball, giving him that number 1 wide receiver threat. It's just making Kyler Murray that much better of a quarterback.
Yeah, well, and then, of course, you have the Baltimore Ravens and the Texans. They wrapped that game up on Sunday. It was a 4:25 game. Ryan, there's not much else to say. The biggest stat that stood out, Baltimore's won 5 consecutive regular season games by 16-plus points. At this point, yes, you have the Kansas City Chiefs sitting in the number 1 spot in the power rankings, but Ryan, right now, I saw the article, it broke loose to me, and the introduction said teams are starting to get Ravenitis. I mean, do you want to play Baltimore right now? It's up to you.
Yeah, I don't think I would, but yeah, I was expecting this game to be a little bit closer than it actually finished. Baltimore won 33-16. The Ravens dominated yet another game against the Texans, and much like they did against the Browns last week. But the Ravens looking very good, and how many people expected to come out in this regular season, but they're gonna be tested this Monday night against the Chiefs. I can't wait for that game, the Chiefs and Ravens.
Yeah, well, that we've reached our half hour, 30-minute mark rather, and that takes us down to the last topic of today, and which is the preview for Monday Night Football, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Baltimore Ravens. Ryan, I have Baltimore edging this one out. I have Jackson and the Ravens winning their first time ever, actually, while Jackson's been under center. First time ever beating Mahomes and company, although this is the first time Kansas City has to travel to Baltimore. Again, not a lot of crowd, the crowd, without a lot of fans there, we don't really take that into account now. But still, the first time that Kansas City has to travel to Baltimore while Jackson has been under center.
Yeah, and they're not playing in their own stadium. I'm sure that has to affect them at least a little bit. But the Chiefs have won the past 3 matchups against the Ravens. 2 MVPs battle it out on Monday night.
Not much else to say, is it?
There's not much else to say rather than just watch the game, sit back and watch 2 MVPs battle it out.
I was kind of hoping that the Chiefs would lose on Sunday, but then again, hey, it's kind of a beautiful thing that they won, because now you have 2-2-0 teams going head-to-head.
Yeah, and the Chiefs barely survived against Justin Herbert's debut in L.A. with the Chargers. The rookie Justin Herbert stepping in for Tyrod Taylor, who got injured in pregame, and the Chiefs kicked the game-tying field goal in the fourth quarter as time expires, and they were able to win it in overtime, kicking another field goal, but they were just able to survive to go to 2-0.
That's right. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, that's going to wrap things up. We will be back with you next week, Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll have back-to-back episodes. Hopefully, we'll cross our fingers that we can, this time we can reach out to Holly Ismail, and then you have, of course, Mr. Larry, the professional boxer for so many years, a lot of success. And he actually, Ryan, I talked to him, he actually has a fight coming up, I think a match in November. So we want to wish him the best of luck. Of course, we'll be talking to him next Wednesday.
Yeah, and I can't wait for those 2 interviews. It's very exciting, and I can't wait to interview those people.
That's it. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and wait for Week 3. Week 3 will kick off with the Dolphins and the Jaguars. Thursday night football on NFL Network, 8:20. But for now, we're going to wrap things up in Studio 6A. Again, alongside Ryan Renner, I'm Phil Vicera, for photographer Sean Tin, producer Austin Anita, saying a very good evening from Maryland.